They say the NHS gives free healthcare to everyone in the UK. But if you're a trans woman trying to access hormones, good luck. I've been through it all. DIY hormones, NHS waiting lists, private clinics, trips across the country, doctors who refuse to help. And I'm still fighting to get consistent, safe and affordable treatment. Today, I want to tell you the truth about what it's like to try and transition in the UK, and why, when it comes to HRT, the system is failing us. If you're trans in the UK, you don't just go to a doctor and get hormones. You get put on a waiting list. Sometimes 2 years, sometimes longer. I started on that path. I joined the queue. I was told to wait like everyone else. But I got lucky. I found a gender clinic in London that was accepting new patients, whilst I was still on the list for Leeds. Because I had connections, I was able to travel to London and start my HRT there. That was the beginning. But it wasn't easy. I had to travel across the country just to get what a cis woman can get at a local pharmacy. And later, when my GP in Leeds had the chance to take over my prescription, they refused. Even with a formal diagnosis of gender dysphoria, even with years of records, even with everything in place, they said they needed proof I was transgender. Let's talk about what kind of hormones are even available. We're not allowed injections in the UK, not through the NHS, not privately. They're not technically banned, but no one will prescribe them. No pharmacy will dispense them. That option is off the table. And that's a problem, because injections are one of the most effective and stable methods of delivering estrogen. I actually used injections early on, but only because I had access through international contacts. They were DIY, but safe, from pharmacies abroad. I don't recommend doing that, but it's the reality for some people. When you're desperate and the NHS has failed you, you take risks. Pills were my first formal option. They're easy, but not the best. They go through your liver and can cause complications long term. They're not ideal, but for many of us, they're all we're offered. That's why I'm now moving to creams and patches. Patches are safer. They deliver estrogen through the skin, but the NHS only recently started offering smaller ones. Most people are stuck with massive awkward ones that fall off if you sweat or exercise. And then there are implants. A small pellet placed under the skin that lasts 6 to 12 months. They're used in other countries and they work really well. But here, they're practically inaccessible. Only certain private doctors might be able to help, and even then, it's expensive and unclear. You have to fight, ask, research, import, and plead. It's exhausting. Here's the truth. Hormones weren't designed for us. They were designed for cis women, for menopause, for birth control. Everything we use is an adaptation, a workaround. And the NHS is not equipped to help us properly. Not because people working in it are bad, They're not. Most doctors I've met have been kind and professional, but their hands are tied. The funding isn't there. The training isn't there. And the demand far outweighs the system's capacity. The UK has only a handful of gender clinics and tens of thousands of people trying to get help. The clinics are overloaded. GP practices don't always know what to do, and unless you can go private, you're left waiting and waiting. Meanwhile, your dysphoria doesn't pause. Your life doesn't pause. You end up self-medicating, Googling everything, turning to friends, relying on scraps of information. It becomes a DIY education in endocrinology, just to survive. That's not safe. That's not fair. That's not how healthcare should work. So yes, British HRT is failing trans women. But what sucks even more is how normal that sentence feels to say. I'm not saying this to scare anyone off. I'm saying this because I wish someone had told me sooner what I was walking into. You can transition in the UK. You can access hormones. But you need to be your own advocate. You need to push. You need to prepare for frustration. And know that it's not your fault. You deserve better. We all do. If you're in the system now, waiting, fighting, wondering if it's even worth it, I see you. If you've been pushed around by your clinic or ghosted by a GP, I've been there. If you're figuring it all out yourself, whilst the world pretends it cares, keep going. Because even a system this broken, your transition is still valid. Your body still matters. Your future is still worth fighting for. We deserve proper care. We deserve real options. We deserve to live, not just survive. And if enough of us speak up, maybe we'll finally be heard. Thank you so much for watching. If this video meant something to you, please consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss a future upload. I'd also like to hear your thoughts. What do you think about today's topic? Leave a comment below. I read every one. And if you'd like to support my work directly, I now have a channel support option. It's just £1 a month, but it helps me more than you know. You can find the link just below this video. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next one.